I'm just on my way home now from yet another stitch up by the judiciary in this country. If you're not aware, you know, there was the case up at the Strand today in the Royal Courts of Justice for Noel Wilcox. Right, hopefully, you know the history of that. Now, with that, the history is basically, well, he had an adjudicator, a TfL adjudicator, agreed that his case was correct, and they ruled that the signage for the LEZ was unlawful. And then he had that upheld at Bedford County Court. I went up there with him. That was upheld. So today we come up to the Royal Courts of Justice to I thought just to have this ratified, that it would also apply to the ULEZ as the signage, which is what that they ruled was unlawful. That as it hasn't changed, and they're still using the same signs, blah blah blah, that it would naturally occur, would apply to this, which it does. I've read, I'm no legal expert, but I've been through this case loads of times with Noel. He is I can't believe the knowledge he has. It's like an encyclopedic knowledge of every traffic sign regulation you can think of, and his case is absolutely valid, as has been upheld, as I said, by a TfL appointed adjudicator plus the county court in Bedford. So we come there today. Last minute, I thought this was going to be held in public. I thought this was whatever. Oh no, the case is heard in chambers, and we managed eventually to get in there and listen to what went on. Noel wasn't, and he had Layla Cunningham. Now, if you don't know who Layla Cunningham is, she is now a member of Reform, but she is the ex Crown Prosecutor for the Tories, so I think she's got a little bit of legal experience. This judge wasn't interested, wouldn't allow her to speak, so she had to basically act as a Mackenzie friend, which means you sit next to the plaintiff and like he can relay sort of messages backwards and forwards. She could give advice, but you don't do it in open court. And basically dismissed it. He didn't dismiss it on a point of law, which is what I thought that judges were about, because if you read the legislation or the regulations concerning the signage, it is an open and shut case. There is no debate, there's no ambiguity. It is an open and shut bloody case. This judge today, oh no, he ruled it, it was basically procedural. He said, according to him, that this should have been done through a judicial review and not as a private prosecution, which is completely and utterly wrong. But he wouldn't even listen to any submissions about that to counteract that. He wasn't interested. This man walked into the court today with the conclusion in his head already. So yet another fucking stitch up by the judiciary. But it's not going to go away. Noel will carry on with this. The man has fought this. I mean, oh God Almighty, the work this man's put in, 4 years of hard bloody work of being beaten down by these pricks in TfL. I've got to mention this. One of the main reasons that TfL or the judges, has concluded as he had, is because the impact it would have on the rest of the provisions that TfL provides, like trains, whatever. So what? What the fuck? That's not relevant. Absolutely not relevant. The impact of your guilt does not come into it. This should have been on a point of law, but it wasn't. So now he's going to fight on, and hopefully this time he'll get some backing from other people, particularly like donors and that, because he's going to need, if this is going to go for a judicial review, it's going to need a lot of money. It's as simple as that. I'm hoping, and I don't see why, and I hope someone in Reform, high up in Reform, is listening to this. Now, this man is one of yours. Put your hand in your pockets and help out. You've got enough millionaire donors. Cough up some money. Get this done. This scheme has impacted millions and millions of people. Again, the judge, how it would impact on TfL. Fuck TfL. What about all the people? Like Noel said today, he could have been bankrupted by the fines that he was given. I know personally people that have shut their companies down That's the business side of the effects of ULEZ, without all the personal effects. This has caused fucking untold misery to millions of people. Yet this judge sits there today and said, well, it'll have, it'll affect TFL. Fuck TFL. They're the ones that they don't. But it's not a law. But they made the signs unlawful. Their own people have said they're unlawful. They've not even questioning that. Right, so I'm just looking at a Subaru game by that I like. Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, this man's going to need help, and I would suggest, if you can help it when it gets going, I say there should be some large business owners that get involved in this that have been I can't say the word impacted by it, but it was a stitch up. I'm pissed off beyond belief. Absolutely.